So you've heard all these amazing things about the brand new 1.8.0 beta patch for MountAnd Blade to Bannerlord, and you want to go ahead and dive back in, which, by the way, I highly recommend. 1.8 was a huge patch and definitely worth your time, but you also don't know what mods are updated for it or even what mods to go ahead and play with it. So what I thought I'd do today is go ahead and dive in and kind of take a look at these top 5 mods that you just have to use when going ahead and playing a brand new campaign for 1.8.0, and these are going to be mods that are, I guess, really kind of there for more beginner people who necessarily don't know exactly about mods and haven't really dived into mods for the first time. This video is going to be for you, because at the end of the video I will go ahead and show you how to install all of these. So if you are new to modding, don't fret, it is really easy, and I'll show you also how to actually upgrade to 1.8.0 as well. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so the first mod that we are using, and this is just a staple, a mod I use in pretty much any campaign that I do play, and this is Serve as a Soldier. If you don't know what this is, it is a mod that allows you to go ahead and join the ranks of any lord in Calradia and Bandit as well. You can also join up as a bandit and kind of work your way through the ranks, and as I said, level up. You will go ahead and serve in the warband of your supposed faction, and boom, just like that, I am now a tier 1 Valandian recruit. Every kill I get, every day that passes, I will gradually go ahead and gain more of this experience right here, and when I get kills on the battlefield, depending on the tiers, so for example, we'll jump into this really quickly and you guys can see that I am just a simple soldier. I am part of my lord's army. I am a Valandian soldier that has been given the equipment of what befits my rank. However, there is plenty of time for me to go ahead and work my way up. Over time, I will gain experience and I'll be able to pick between a Valandian crossbowman or a Valandian swordsman or a Valandian knight. And as I go further and further on, towards the end and the later tiers, I think when you hit around about tier 7, you even get landed by your lord. Derhart will go ahead and send me a messenger, and I will go ahead and be given a castle and be allowed into the realm for all my service. So it is a great mod, one that just makes the early game extremely fun. And the nice thing is you can go ahead and leave at pretty much any time. You can desert, or you can just ask for leave, or if the army gets destroyed, you can basically then just go off on your merry way, which is really good and very exciting. You get to fight in all these massive battles without much on the line, and you also make a decent wage as well, especially at the higher tiers. When you manage to rank up towards the later periods of the battle, you will go ahead and actually get a lot of money as well. So definitely a mod that is worth your while and updated for 1.8. The only problem now... Okay, so the next mod we are using is going to be the My Little Warband mod. If you haven't heard of this one before, it is awesome and actually made by the same guy who made the first mod, Serve as a Soldier. Basically, what this mod allows you to do is go ahead and create your very own custom unit tree right off the bat that you can go ahead and mess around with. It is so easy to use and absolutely amazing. So when you go into any city, you should go ahead and see these tier 1 recruits here. If you don't, you just have to go ahead and make sure you click here right here to switch from recruitment type, and you actually switch it to go back to native as well if you want to go and recruit some Valandians. Really easy to use. But you switch it back to your custom troop tree, you right click on them to bring up the encyclopedia, and then you shift left click, and boom, you can start editing your own custom unit tree. So again, this might look a little bit intimidating, but it's really not. You have all your skills up the left hand side, and you have a set amount of skills that you can go ahead and cap out. The tier 1s have, I think, 25 or like 70 points. The tier 2s have more, tier 3s have a bit more, etc. You can also go ahead and adjust their armor and weapons. You have 4 different variants you can create as well, but I can basically give these guys all the tier 1 weapons. There's actually grape shot ammunition and stuff I can give them, which is kind of funny. But you basically outfit all your tier 1s with the lower tier equipment, and then as they get to a higher tier, so for example, if I do have a tier 3, which is let's just say this guy right here, so I shift left click on him again, you can see here's more points. He'll have access to more of the better helmets and equipment that I'll be able to give him the higher tier armors right off the bat, because he is a higher tier soldier, and I can basically outfit him with the better equipment, give him better stats as well as that. Also, if I want to expand the troop tree, super easy as well. These are the 2 upgrade paths. So if I click add, then I'll have two unit skill trees going up from there. And then again, I can just shift left click to go ahead and adjust the tier 4s. And then if I maybe only want 1 upgrade tree, I remove that. And as you guys can see, if we go back onto it, there's now only 1. So an awesome mod, a mod that you can go ahead and use right off the bat to give you just a really cool experience to create your own roster. And yeah, I highly recommend anybody who wants to use it should definitely use it. Okay, so the next mod that we'll be taking a look at is the Bandit Militia mod. This mod is awesome. Basically, what it does is when there are looters, forest bandits, sea warriors roaming around the campaign map, when they get close to one another, they will go ahead and combine up to form a larger party. That party will be given a hero like we are seeing right now, and they will become way more formidable. So if I just charge into this bandit group right here, you guys will see that they are way more equipped than what we are used to seeing. They have a hero who is severely heavily armored, and because these bandit groups do go ahead and form up into being pretty, scary units, it just makes them way more interesting. There's more loot to be had, and they actually go ahead and actually create some pretty interesting stuff. So as you can see, there are some higher tier looters in this unit, in this army. And it just basically makes looters a bit more scary, a bit more interesting in the mid to late game. And their party sizes can actually get pretty goddamn big as well. So definitely a mod to be using if you're looking for more of a challenge, more interesting looters and bandits. And there's a lot more of them as well because they do go ahead and form up. So there's a few more that have spawned to then go ahead and form these scary parties to then cause issues. So yeah, this is going to be the amazing Bandit Militia. Highly recommend you go ahead and check them out. Again, if I just kind of like jump around really quickly, I'm sure you'll see a bunch more of their kind of custom units there. There's another one right there. Again, with a leader, there's another leader bandit there. It just kind of makes them a little bit more potent, a little bit more scary. And as I said, this is still very much the early game. So, these parties are, 52 is not bad for an early game force. Again, it's going to probably mainly be looters, but that could definitely be, they've got some good soldiers. 37 looters, but still some Imperial militia, some highwaymen, some brigands. These are going to be fun battles to have and a great way to kind of, again, you kind of just enjoy that mid game when you are a mercenary after you served as a soldier and you want to go ahead and just level up. And that's good renown gain as well. So it's a good way to gain some renown. Okay, now time for the 4th mod. This mod is an absolute must. I use it in every single one of my campaigns, and that is the better time mod. It basically allows you to adjust the speed of which the game does run. You now also have an additional fast forward button as well, and as with Bandit Militia, you can basically adjust all of this in the menus as well. But basically, as you guys can see, the speed is there. I can go ahead and put it up to the next speed, which just again really goes ahead and improves the rate of the game going if you're maybe wounded or you're waiting for your stamina to replenish, or when you're just serving as a soldier or you're waiting for your men to heal. This is awesome. Or when you're just traveling as well. Granted, you have to be careful when you're traveling because the game does go quite fast, and I do find myself dying multiple times because I am not paying attention. But again, just like that, normally when you have a big enough army though and you're not at war, you can just kind of move around quite happily. As well as that, there is also a hyperspeed version as well. If you press control and space, you really just like take off and the world goes ahead and just like, just moves past. So this is a must for me. You can even just adjust the normal speed as well of the game. And it's just really useful. I love this mod. I couldn't play the game without it. The extra speed is just so important. Again, when you're sieging as well, it's really nice. So yeah, definitely recommend the better time mod. Okay, so the 5th and final mod that you just have to use when you are playing 1.8 is going to be the realistic battle mod. This mod just basically completely changes the way that combat works in the game, and it just makes it so much better. So not only does it make the AI, I guess, way smarter, it also makes them way more, I guess, realistic in the sense of it makes them care for their own lives way more. The AI will now defend way more. It'll make combat way easier when we have basically just get behind the enemy and just slash to your heart's content. You will actually have to kind of make sure you are blocking because the AI will be blocking really effectively. Not only that, as you can see, the AI is going to be way more strategic with them their attacks moving forward as we push up as well. When we get into combat, we won't just have two massive blobs smashing into one another. It will be a back and forth. Like, I will tell my men to charge now, they'll move into combat, and as you guys will be able to see, the battle lines do form, but we aren't just blobbing into one another. We are backing off, we are staying in formation, and you know, we're striking and we're falling back, and this just makes combat so much more exciting. And as you can see, the entire time the AI is blocking, they are keeping them shields up, they're keeping themselves safe, and these battle lines are forming. I mean, just look how awesome this is, rather than the normal vanilla, like everybody just charge into one another. The AI just kind of utilize their soldiers way more effectively, and it just makes battles longer, it makes them more enjoyable, I find, and just more realistic, because everybody's like protecting themselves as best as they can, you know, inching their way forward and doing their own thing. There is also an armor module as well, so if you want to take things to the extreme, and again, I really like it personally as someone who loves realism in combat, I highly recommend that you check it out. There is also a module one that goes ahead and basically revamps all the armors and weapons to make, you know, heavy armor way more realistic, even though 1.8 has done that, but it kind of takes it that extra step forward. So if you are looking for a mod that makes battles better and also armors better, you can definitely download this, and also the combat module as well, which affects the weapons and damage. Okay, that's going to be it for my top 5 mod video today. If you are heading off now, make sure to go and drop a like and a comment down below. We are going to move over to the install guide now, so make sure to stick around if you are interested in that. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below as well if you want to go ahead and see more of an intermediate level mod video, where I basically show maybe my top 5 mods that are a little bit more extreme, a little bit for those of you who've been playing the game for a little bit longer and not just getting into modding for the first time. Okay, so let's do the install guide really quickly. If you are new to modding, don't worry, this may look kind of scary, but just follow this step by step and things should work out. It shouldn't be too difficult, because yeah, modding is really easy once you know how to in Bannerlord. So first things first, you're going to need to have this on Steam. Unfortunately, the Epic Games doesn't have this capability quite yet, but you need to go ahead and make sure that you are on 1.8, and to do so, all you have to do is right click on your Bannerlord, go down to properties, go down to betas, and click on the 1.8 beta that you'll find right here at the bottom. This will basically update your game to the newer version of the Bannerlord that is currently in beta. If you want to go back to any other version of the game, or go back to the current patch, which is 1.7.2, just go ahead and click none, and that will go ahead and just make your game on the live version. You will need to be on the live version to play multiplayer if that is what you want to do, but for now we are modding 1.8 and having fun with the new beta, so just go ahead and go on 1.8.0, and then that will download it and make sure that we are okay. Okay, so now that we are on 1.8.0, we're going to have to go ahead and download all the mods. I'll leave a link to all the mods you need down below in the description, and again, just follow my guide step by step and you shouldn't have any issues. So over on Nexus Mods, you're going to want to go ahead and click on the file section right here. You are going to need an account, but don't worry, it is completely free, so don't go ahead and buy their premium or anything like that. Just go ahead and create a free account and you should be good. Then make sure you go down to the version of the mod that says 1.8.0. This is super crucial. If you're crashing, chances are you've downloaded the wrong version. You need to make sure that every mod that you use in this game is for 1.8.0, and you just go ahead and click manually download. It's going to tell that you need Harmony. That's something we're going to get, but there's another mod that we'll do it on, because we can click all the files that we do need. We do need Harmony, we will download it, but just ignore that for now. Click download and go down and click slow download. We don't want to click fast download unless you're premium, then feel free to, but we're going to want to go ahead and click slow. We're going to want to do that for every single file. Again, my little Warband, we go down and we find the 1.8.0 version. Again, it says we need Harmony. We can ignore that for now. Make sure we click manually download. We click download, and then we go ahead and slow download it. Then Bandit Militia, we're going to go down. We're going to find the 1.8.0 version. We're going to click manually download, and here is where we're going to go ahead and grab all of these. So now just control click on all these 3 files, the butterlib, Harmony, and the mod config as well. And again, we're just gonna, these are 3 mods you kind of just need to kind of make everything run tight. And again, really easy. Just go ahead and download the 1.8 version, which you can find right here at the bottom. Again, click on Harmony, go down, find the version of Harmony, just download the latest version. You have to worry about what it is. Just make sure you just download the newest one, and then the butterlib as well. You're going to go down, you're going to find the 1.8.0 version here, click download. Better time, again, 1.8 version, click manually download, and we're going to make sure that we can grab the UI extension thing right here. This is one of them. Again, you could just download this instead of doing it on Bandit Militia. Just basically control click and make sure you download all of these, again, on the 1.8 version, which you can see right here, manually download. And then finally, realistic battle, go ahead and go on the file section. Again, 1.8. So this is the AI module. This was the module that I was using in the video, which basically just makes the AI way more kind of, I guess, more realistic, makes it more interesting, actually performs like it cares for its life. You can also download the combat module as well, which dramatically changes armor. It makes heavy armor like you're a walking tank, and you definitely need blunt weapons to break that. So this is definitely something you could use as well if you're playing vanilla. Do keep in mind that this doesn't work with any major overhaul mods unless there's a compatibility patch for that. You can also get RTS camera here. Unfortunately, RTS camera hasn't been updated yet, so I won't talk about that, otherwise it would have been in my list. But yeah, you can also come here to try and grab the newest version of RTS camera when it gets updated for 1.8.0. But again, just go ahead and find the realistic battle module, go ahead and do that, and then click download, and then the slow download. Okay, so now that we have all them mods downloaded, I know there was quite a few of them, but it really is just a simple click on. You're then going to want to go ahead and open them with something like WinRAR or 7-zip. These are free files, basically unpacked files, super easy to go ahead and find, so I won't go into too much detail, but we need to figure out where we want to put these files. Again, super easy to do. All you have to do is go ahead and click on your Bannerlord, go down to manage and click browse local files. This will then bring up where you want to go ahead and put them. This will bring up basically your Bannerlord folder. You're going to want to go into modules and then just drag and drop every one of the files you've got in there. If it says module right here, click into it and then drag and drop it. It says module only if you're like here, then you can drag and drop it in. But for most mods that I use, I always go ahead and just grab the actual file, go into my module folder and just drag and drop it in normally. That way it kind of works. So do be a little bit careful on that. Make sure you don't go ahead and drop maybe the module folder here, because that won't work. So you don't want to go ahead and do that. You want to make sure that you basically go into any of the module folders and just drag them in, and it should just look something like this with the mod title. If it looks something like this, then you've maybe gone a step too far. Okay, boom, nice. Now that we've gone ahead and done that, we just have to basically load the game. So make sure that Harmony, Butterlib, UI extension, and the mod config is all above your native files. These go right at the top because they basically load and make sure that everything else works. Then you're going to want to go ahead and just turn these mods on. I don't think there's a specific order, a specific load order with these mods. Sometimes some mods do require a certain load order, but I don't think these ones do, so you can just go ahead and basically just tick them all on. So your Bandit Militia, your Serve as a Soldier, your Realistic Battle AI, and then you just go ahead and click play, and you should be absolutely fine. Please, 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 Tale Worlds, let us make this mod launcher a lot larger. I use a custom one, so it doesn't really affect me, but it's so annoying. If you've got a mod list of like 20 files, you don't want to have to go ahead and just kind of scroll through. They need to make that go full screen and make it be way more accessible, because it is super annoying. And there you go, the game is loaded. You can basically go ahead and just jump into a sandbox. One thing as well with the RBM mod, you do also have a posture system, which is like how long you can block for. You can go ahead and adjust that right here if you want to enable it, disable it. You can also go into the mod files and adjust the Bandit Militia kind of spawning rate, and also the better time as well with all these mods. But there you go. If this is your first time modding, let me know in the comments how you got on with it. Hopefully you didn't run into any issues. A couple troubleshooting issues as well, I highly recommend that you guys go ahead and do. If there are some mods if you are getting crashes whenever you're trying to mod, I highly recommend that you turn off the more like impactful mods first and see if the game will load. See if the game will go ahead and jump into a campaign without certain mods turned on, and you can basically work backwards to see what mods are causing the crash. And then if you find, if you kind of turn off a couple mods and it doesn't crash, then turn on a few of the other mods until you find the culprit, and then chances are either there's conflicting mods with another mod you have, or you just have the wrong version. That's a real good tip, and hopefully one that you guys will use. So there you go. Make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know how you guys get on, and enjoy 1.8.0.